Chirp.
Hello everyone, thank you all for coming. We're just gonna do a quick intro. My name is Lim, and
My name is Charles.
nice to meet you guys. Thank you for coming. So this is not Charles' first time doing a panel at Lightbox, so he's gonna do his intro after me, but this is my first time actually representing myself. Usually I represent different artists of Super Any and Kazan Art. So I'm just gonna do a quick, brief introduction of myself so you guys actually get to know me. I think that would help you guys to ask more questions. All right, so my name is Lim Hur. I'm a co-founder of Kazan Art, and co-founder of Kazan Entertainment. Entertainment part is the outsourcing company that me and Charles does, and also I'm a concept artist myself, and artist representative of Kim Jung-gi US and Super Any US. So I first got into Art Center College of Design as illustration major back in 2002, and I started doing entertainment around 2005, but back then when I was going to Art Center, there was no entertainment major, so it was me just doing entertainment as illustration major. And starting 2005 to 2007, I interned at Toon Disney and as a storyboard artist and worked as a part-time employee, so that kind of helped me pay the expensive tuition of Art Center. And after that, I graduated from Art Center back 2007, and I got my first full-time job at Liquid Entertainment in Pasadena. And my very first launched game was 2008, Rise of the Argonaut. It was an RPG game, and I made my transition into Activision Publishing as an internal concept artist for Headquarter 2009. And I'm not sure if you guys ever remember this. This is really mediocre, but I like it. I will still play it. So Guitar Hero, DJ Hero, Call of Duty. I was such a big fan of a shooting game. Prototype, Blur, Skylander, Call of Duty Zombies. So I worked on a lot of Call of Duty, and it was actually one of my first choice because I really liked Counter-Strike back in high school, and then I made my transition into Call of Duty franchise. I love shooting game. So for me, it was a dream come true. And from Activision, I made internal transition to Infinity Ward, which I loved because I loved Modern Warfare game. So that's my history, and launched Call of Duty Ghost back in 2013. And ever since then, basically starting from 2007, I made lots of Call of Duty titles. And well, if we have time, I'll show you guys my videos and my portfolio. But during the time in Activision, Charles and we opened a studio called Kazan Art in Irvine back in 2011. So that's why this portfolio session, I know you guys all want to get into entertainment industry, so that's why we brought some samples that actually how we helped students to break their career into industry. So there will be a lot of samples and a lot of clear direction of what you guys all need to prepare. So for Kazan Art, we do illustration, fashion, graphic, entertainment, industrial design, but I will say we are really known for entertainment design, portfolio prep, because we both do. We're co-founders of Kazan Art, and we both do entertainment. So we have instructors all from industry, and then Charles handles all entertainment design department at Kazan Art, and I do oversee all senior level students. It includes high school and college student who's wanting to basically create a portfolio for a very clear purpose, such as getting a job, internship, or getting into college. And my other job is I started representing Kim Jung-gi back in 2013, and also Super Any US. So I have my hands on many different things. And few of the artists that I represent is Karl Kopinski, which we all love, Elisa Ivanova, Miss Jisoo, Peter Han, and more. So my job is to basically help artists debut in United States. So that was my first task for Kim Jung-gi. I met Kim Jung-gi as a fan. And he simply asked me, oh, if you can help me, if you can show me around. That was my first job. And that started since 2013, and ever since then, we've been recruiting, and I've been writing for English versions of lots of educational books that can benefit students in the United States, so that's what I do. All right, so now Charles can introduce himself.
Hey everyone, thanks for coming. By the way, yeah, I'll make this quick. My name is Charles Lee, and then I graduated Art Center College of Design as well in Pasadena. It's right here, actually. In 2003 winter, I think I remember exactly what the period. And then the first job I got was the Sony Entertainment. Back then, Sony had their cinematic department in San Diego. So that was my first job. And then I think first 5-6 years, I was working mostly as the contract artist. The Sony companies such as like the Spark Unlimited, you probably would know what those companies are. And then also the Obsidian Entertainment, also they're located in the Irvine, California. And then after 10 years, and then also I started working in EA. That's where actually me and Lim, we decided to actually establish like Kazunart. And also, so my experience is quite unique in terms of like, you know, a lot of artists actually, especially like the entertainment, either they work in the game industry or the animation industry, but my career is almost like 19-20 years now. I've been working in exactly 10 years in the game industry and then 10 years in animation industry. So since the EA, I started working at the Blizzard Cinematics. That's when I started like working in the film industry. So Blizzard Cinematic is mostly they're focusing on making cinematics in them for the Blizzard games. So after Blizzard, I went to Riot Games, and then even in Riot Games, I was in the film department, even though we didn't have any film came out yet. So I was in the Riot Games, and then I was lucky enough to be part of the Arcane project, so which I spent mostly 7 years there. And then 2 years ago, I decided to go back to the video game industry. So I'm currently working in Supercell, which is based in Finland. You know, they're known for the Clash of Clans, Brawl Star, and the Squad Buster just came out. So I'm working on their new project with a small team of 5. So yeah, so that's my quick introduction.
Yes, and and also the Kazun Entertainment happened just so naturally and very organic way, because when I got myself out from Activision Publishing Infinity Ward, luckily they transferred me as a outside vendor. Each company has a different funding system. So basically they were very nice enough to basically have me as external vendor, meaning like freelancer or external company that I could work directly with the company. And then, you know, during COVID, it was such a booming industry for game because everyone stayed home and just played game, right? So a lot of jobs were generated during the time. So Charles already had many vendors, I already had many vendors, and work was just pouring in, and we couldn't handle everything. So it just happened so naturally that which I already had corporate license in California. So we naturally, it happened so naturally, and we recently have worked on like Overwatch, PUBG, many different titles. But then when you actually see the industry and then the clients, you can naturally see his history and my history, and our clients just merged into as our steady clients for our outsourcing company. So now I think it's good time for us to move on to talk about entertainment portfolio. What is entertainment portfolio? So entertainment design has 4 different aspects. And then if we go outside of these 4 different aspects, there's a UI UX and 3D designs or animation, right? But then today, since I have enough examples for concept art division, so we're just gonna talk about visual development / concept art portfolio. So entertainment design portfolio, if you are entry position, you will need to show 4 different aspects: character design, environment design, prop design, and vehicle design. So the often question that I've been asked is, do you have to show all 4? My answer is yes. Yes, because you don't know where you're going to be hired. For an example, if you're being hired at big company like Riot or Activision and EA, you name it, right? Blizzard, they're gonna want to hire you as a character artist or maybe environment artist, but then for, let's say, 60 below company who wants to hire you as a full-time position, their production, let's say, line is 3 years long, and then if you just specialize in one thing, they can not really picture you for 3 years being used in the pipeline. So it will be much beneficial if you kind of know how to do everything. But all this 4 aspects, you don't need to be perfect. You just got to show that you know how to do it, but then show your strength in one. Okay, that's my recommendation. So for character design, figure drawing, I pretty much put it there because that's pretty much the start of the character design. So you have to have a good fundamentals. You have to know how to do research. Thumbnail design. Thumbnail design is literally very, very initial stage of how to come up with a unique shape, grayscale, color variations, character interaction page, meaning without any explanation, you show character in motion, and that shows the personality of a character. And final rendering, that is the selling point. And I'm going to show you guys some of the examples of my students' portfolio that we help students to develop because an art academy, but led on to job. So basically, the examples that I'm going to show you, they were high school students or maybe college students who wanted to get into art center, but then I knew their ultimate goal was to get a job. And they did get a job through this. All right? So I will show you. You guys see okay? No. So starts from reference, right? So inspiration images and thumbnail studies. A lot of thumbnail study. It can be traditional medium, it can be Photoshop medium, and we develop further. Let's say your director goes, I like number 5, I like number 9, 7. So basically in your portfolio, it's not just showing your potential. You have to show that if you hire me from day one, I know what I'm doing, right? So basically meeting the standard of the industry, that's what you need in the portfolio. So you show silhouette and you're kind of making your own decision. Okay, I chose this 4 and I have developed further, right? After that, some of the hairdresser if you need as a prop design and final rendering, okay? And I'm just showing you guys different types of a style. Because if you're looking to get into job, maybe in visual development or animation industry, maybe you want to show yourself that actually fits in maybe Disney, Pixar, DreamWorks, right? Because if you show this, they'll be a little confused, like, oh, I don't have any intellectual property that goes along with your style, right? So, same thing, silhouette. But then here's the thing though. It's not like we invented this, right? I was taught to train to do this in our center. And then when you go in an industry, directors would ask you to do this. So literally you're mimicking what industry would do at their job. And our students' portfolio, meaning college graduate portfolio, should look something like this, minimal or better to get a job. Okay, character interaction, final rendering. Again, reference, because you know you're showing yourself that you can actually do research. Silhouette studies. And this is just portion of each student's work, some of the selected students' work. And I am going to show you guys the full portfolio that actually helped them to get a job, okay, and internship. Okay, next is, nope. Where is the, here we go. And environment design. Environment design, first, it starts with perspective and composition and painting. Painting has shape, value, color. That makes painting, right? After that, research, same thing, thumbnails, grayscale, color variation, final rendering. Do you need to show all this process for every environment painting? No. If you ends up displaying maybe 10 different paintings, you may only maybe display 3 to 4, maybe half of your painting with all the process, but the rest, it's okay, you can just show the final. But what you need to know is you have to show the process of your work to show your thinking process. And you actually know how to do research and make your own calls to get the right results, all right? So the samples I have, here we go. So we call this as a, whose work is, do you remember? Claire?
That's Claire.
I think Claire?
Yeah.
Claire's, where does Claire work right now?
Claire's working for the Paramount right
Paramount
now,
right
for
now.
the Avatar feature
So
animation.
yeah, so she made this portfolio after even she was already a college student or maybe graduate from college. She came to us. She wanted to prepare a portfolio, but she had such a solid idea. She's tabling at Lightbox too. Her goal was to get a job. So when she made this portfolio, after that she went to Art Center and also she went to Netflix, and then she worked with you at Sony, right? Sony Animation, and then now she's at Paramount. This is word building. So environment doesn't mean that you just need to show the beautiful painting. It's all about designing. So when you visit like a Mexico City, without explaining that it's a Mexico City, when you go to like church, cathedral, or city hall, you know where you're at because you know the culture, right? The building type, how they built, right? So basically that's word building. So when you show an environment, it's always smart to show building design and room design, exterior, and some of key shots. Okay, because that all serves different purpose, and it also shows different that you are actually equipped to do being used in multiple different areas instead of just creating a beautiful key shot. This is a key shot. So reference some of the research. This is Mindy, right? Yeah, Mindy's work. But when you see this is all pencil drawing. So it is okay for you to work traditional or digital. It really doesn't matter. You just gotta show your design ability. And then this is Minji's work. Silhouette studies again. More evolved silhouette studies. Line drawing, final render, and key shot environment.
The both of them, they all got internship at Riot.
Yes, with this portfolio. And I'll show you their portfolio so you kind of know. And then especially when you do key shot, the part of training that we always ask students to do is a storyboard as well. Because storyboard, when you do a storyboard, you learn so much from creating storyboard on composition. So it really, really helps. So we always tell our students, just challenge yourself. Even it's not required in your portfolio, it's gonna help you down the line. And okay, next is prop. Okay, when you look at prop and vehicle design, they're almost the same, right? But then when you do prop, just simply don't do you can have one or two very boring props, such as a shield and sword, because where can it go, right? But then always try to show your talents, such as if you're very much of a problem-solving guy, do like a machine gun that does a crazy maneuver. Or if you're not too strong, it's okay for you to alternate some of the simple design. But then prop and a vehicle, sometimes it's not their favorite thing to do, but then I think it's a great thing to do and a great thing to show in your portfolio because it's needed in the pipeline. Yeah. So prop and vehicle, same thing. Visual communication perspective is the first thing. So before you do a gun design or a car design, you do have to know perspective and visual communication. Research, thumbnail, grayscale, color variation, prop in motion. If you're doing prop, at least try to do one or two prop that actually has a function because it shows your design ability. And final rendering, same thing vehicle. Okay, I'm gonna show you an example. Sword design. This is a meatball shooting gun, so fun. And then showing the function. some of the very, delicate ornament that has a function. But when you guys think about it, you know how it turned into like internship portfolio, job portfolio for not, right? But try to think, this is an entry portfolio for our center, entertainment design. But if you want to actually get a job, you have to do something a little better than this, right? So basically, that's why it is really important for you guys to look at a lot of examples of a portfolio, what's out there, and then how that portfolio lead to where, to learn the standard of the industry, what the job is looking for. Because when you want to get that opportunity of an interview, your portfolio gets sent in first without your face, even without your resume. Sometimes it's just your portfolio, right? Okay, and we're moving on to vehicle. Same thing. Always show your research or at least few images where you got the initial inspiration. Vehicle design. Like vehicle design can be so fun, right? Like this one, it can simply be just an airplane or thing, but then this one was like a butcher shop that she turned the vehicle into a butcher shop. So I thought that was very fun. I also want to show Charlie stuff that's very fresh.
I made a quick mistake earlier. These guys weren't hired by the internship program. They were actually directly hired as a regular concept artist.
Mm-hmm. So how this happened was because Charles runs entertainment design, and then he's currently teaching it at Kazan entertainment design, environment design class. And when we see it's like such a great potential in Sweden, we really try to hint them like, hey, I think you'll be such a great fit for this IP. I just know it. But even there's no opening, just try to tailor your portfolio for that. Because, our center will love it, of course, because you're job ready, right? But then if we ever decided to forward your portfolio to some of my friends or at the time you were working at Arcane, right? And then he was literally telling me like, I think she'll get a job. I think if I forward it, I think she'll get it. I'm like, I think so too. So basically we were slowly just introducing her like, this is what you do. So more than just teaching, actually just have her be job ready. Be job ready means solving a problem, making the decision by herself. So this is, you're literally seeing entire portfolio of, but then it was for our center, right? She almost got a full scholarship. And then I think she finished maybe for one term.
No, she finished second term. And then, we hired her in the Arcane as an associate artist.
And then is she still there?
Yes, she's still in Arcane team.
Okay.
Yep.
So you actually got a chance to work with her. You were in the same team.
Yeah. First.
Mm-hmm. So environment. So you guys seen this from the examples, but that's why I always encourage artists who are looking for a job, just go to like our center has a graph show. It's like literally you can just go to Hillside or maybe South Campus. I don't know where they do it now, but like you have to see like, okay, who am I competing with, right? Just to gauge where your skill set need to be. But then sometimes when I show, like I'm just like such a proud mom that like, oh, look at this work. It's our students' work, and she got a job. It's just being a proud mom. But I should be proud because when she was doing this, she was only like 21 or something. 20?
Yeah, she was 21.
Yeah.
She was 21.
And like imagine me when I was 21. Like I was barely focused on doing something. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll maybe get a job. But she was very focused, and she kind of like. Like the amount of the work that we put her through, she came along. I was very proud of that.
But she already had such a style that lies between the realistic and kind of like a Pixar Disney, not too much on either side, which was Arcane was really like kind of looking for. Because when I started at the Arcane project, the showrunner was nothing like against like, but he didn't want to do anything like kind of very conventional. That was done in, like the Western, like animation, right? So he didn't like, too Disney style or DreamWorks or too much like anime. So somehow, like in her style, like really fit into what we were looking for. So we encourage her to, you shouldn't lose what your characteristics, but yeah, let's try to kind of like, just keep it that way. So.
But then I sit in majority of Charles' class, but then now he's being very humble and subtle, but then I knew he was purposely just shaping her. I just knew, like, oh, you want to hire her, you know? But without telling her, he was showing her so many materials. But that's why I think it's really important for you guys to all get some sort of education. It's self-taught is okay, but at least have a mentor who has the best interest in you, not teaching what I'm good at, what he's good at. Help you to find the style that fits you, and then how that can be connected to a job. Because once you break into industry, just first job, your life is much easier. But it's the first part is just so hard. And I know how exactly like difficult that could be. But then when you break into industry, the important thing is tailor your portfolio for a specific job if you want that, or just be so good that anyone would just draw all over you. That's pretty much the two things, right? But then what Charles and what we love to do is basically like, when I see a portfolio coming out from his class and from our studio, we make so many different portfolios every year. Everything looks different because we don't want anyone to draw like Charles. We want you guys to draw what you do best, but enhanced, right? And then portfolio is all about showing only strong pieces, not, oh, I could have done better, give me 6 more hours. Don't even show it. We'll rather have 10 strong pieces than 50 okay pieces, okay? This portfolio is pretty old, but then the first portfolio, she got hired at Arcane. This one was a word build.
Oh no, she was hired in the world building team at Riot Games.
This one.
Yeah, this one, Mindy. So I think kind of to add to what Lim just said, because you can kind of see. I don't know how much you guys are a fan of like the Riot Games, but for her portfolio now, you can see like it fits more into Riot Games. You know, the world building. World building meaning like they're the team who does all the backbone story of like, you know, each factions and stuff. So when we look at this, you know, her name is Mindy, like when she developed this portfolio, like actually like the leader of like the world building team, like, you know, when he saw it, like he loved it, and then he just wanted to hire her like right away, but she waited like a couple more times because she wanted to spend like time in her art center. So yeah, it's a very, like what Lim said is so important. Like the previous portfolio, as you can see, like she didn't have anything in her portfolio that resembles like what the Arcane was, right? But it's important to kind of represent the vibe of it. So like, you know, she wanted to do like, lowest city and then upper city. So what we did was like, oh yeah, okay, then yeah, imagine Zahn and Piltover, right? You see but it's not actually Zahn and Piltover, it's a top city and the low city, right? So when people actually who hires you, when they see it, like they can kind of, you know, like connect the relationship between like, you know, what they need and, you know, the portfolio like they look at. So
and then I also get a lot of questions like, should I go to school or should I not go to school? It's really up to you because everyone's under different circumstances, right? But then I highly do recommend just experience of school, because if I didn't go to Art Center, I would not have met Charles. I met Charles in Art Center, and I honestly got a job through Art Center grad show as well. So I think I benefit 100% of what they have offered. And I was an illustration major. I honestly didn't know what I wanted to do. But then meeting with all these people, when I run Lightbox, I'll say 80% of the people is my school friends. And then we all ends up working together. You know, we all ends up inspiring each other. So for me, I was always, I'm sure Charles felt the same way, and then maybe you guys feel the same way. When I was going to high school, I was always the person who liked to draw. But then when you're in the circle, you're in new circle, everyone loves what I love. And so many great inspiration, so many great energy comes from there. So I highly do recommend. And so basically the first one, second one, there are maybe 2 years of a gap in between, right? Since they finished the portfolio and also get hired. The unique thing was basically they were both heavily inspired by Charles and then his guidance. And then do you see how two styles is completely different, right? And then taught by same teacher. That's why when you are choosing the school mentor teachers, try to stay away from just do what I ask you to do. Instead, it should be an open discussion of what you wish to do. But what I tell you to my student, compatibility and partnership between mentor and mentee is very important. And then that's when we know, oh my gosh, this synergy is going to work out. You know what that is? Whenever I give them suggestion, I think you're pretty good at this. I think you should try it. Smart student always go, okay, I'll try it. That's the pretty much the 100% of the way to succeed. But some really skillful student come to our studio, spend time, 3-4 years with us. But in my opinion, you're already good. I think you're getting up pretty good, but I don't think you got much from me, right? Because some of the attitude is like, I get what you're saying, but I like what I do. Then you don't learn. Basically, you're losing so much learning opportunity from each mentors and each instructor that you encounter in your life. When you go to work, your director, Charles, I like you doing this, but what if we do this way? Do you want to give it a try? Your attitude should be, I'm just going to give it a try. I'm going to trust you. I'm going to give it a try, see where it take me. And that's how you develop new style and different workflow. But then as a student, the best attitude to have is do not reserve. Like, just don't have the reservation, just give it a try, because the worst thing that could happen is like you try something different for 3 months and you earn something, right? But then if you just stick to what you have, like if Craig Mullins is sitting next to you and teaching you something, you're not going to get anything out of it if you don't have open-minded, okay? I'm going to show you one very, very fresh portfolio. He is 19, Charlie, 19? 19, high school. He just graduated from high school. He just went to Art Center, I believe, first term. He got a full scholarship. I don't know whether he's going to get a job with his portfolio or not, but I think he has a full of potential. So can I just show it off? Can I show you guys? Okay. So I actually never met him in person because he joined us during COVID. And then he's from the Bay Area, and he's been taking classes with us. So, I mean, this is good, right? But then coming from 19-year-old, isn't it awesome, right? Yes.
So what we realized, like, at the end, what he really separates himself from, like, pretty much like other students that we had, was because most of students, like, they were like having even hard time to finish the homework, right? And then the projects that we're kind of giving them. He was doing extra work, so he does all the studies of the like a quick paintings from the movie shots or like screenshots and even like photos. So he was doing all the studies on top of the project that you guys are looking at right now. So that, like, in a discipline, that's something we can't even teach, right? That's something you guys have to like push yourself to do it.
And then as you see this portfolio, you know how every portfolio shows somewhat different ratio in character, different ratio in environment. Some portfolio has so many environment, some portfolio barely showing 1 or 2 characters, right? That goes along with your characteristic and also your strength. You don't need to have, let's say, you know what, I'm gonna make 20 portfolio for my internship. It's gonna be 5 props and 5. You guys don't need to do that. Just show that you can do everything, right? But show your most strong pieces. And that when you develop a portfolio, when you organize your portfolio, layout is so important. Do not make any dirt. I always do like messy, dirty layout, means too many things composite into one page. Every page needs to make sense. There are so many resources out there, like ArtStation and even Art Book of Disney, Art Book of whatever, right? Just reference those and then try to come up with your own unique logo and then type that goes with your portfolio genre. Try to just present it smart and try to present it right. And when you display your portfolio, important thing is first and last is always has to show the very most impactful pieces. Meaning, if you're really strong in environment, show environment first. Don't think about like, I must show my character to open the page. No one cares. Because you have to have the person, the reviewer, stay in your PDF, in your website, right? You don't want to be scroll, okay, done. Moving on to next, right? So basically, your most strong piece should be always number 1. Your second strong piece always last. Your whatever piece, just stick it in the middle so they could speed through, okay? All right. So, Charles, do you have anything to add?
No, I think that's great. And another thing to add to that is a lot of people actually scared of like taking out what they already have. Like, 'cause when they talk to people and then kind of go over their portfolios, like if I kind of give them, take this out, right? And then they get like very antsy and oh my god, I spent like 20-30 hours on this painting. I'm so proud of like, no, you should be very proud like what you've done, but it'll all be added right to your skill. But when we look at it, like for example, like when we look at the portfolio, like to hire, this actually what happened like during like when we hired more people at the Arcane, we went to the art station sometimes, right? Well, of course we get the recommendations from internal artists and even the different teams, but if we can find still, then we go to like let's say like the art station, we're not like sitting down, okay, you know what, let's make a time for like, go over the portfolio for like 2-3 hours if we're gonna hire. No, we do it like, oh, you know what, like let's quickly look at like during lunchtime, right? And it's like 15 minutes, we just flip through, right? We flip through like the couple images. If we like the one image, oh yeah, let's see what other pieces this person has, right? And then we do like 3-4 more. If 3-4-5, I don't know, those are like arbitrary number. If they're really consistently good, then okay, let's interview him or her, right? But if there's one image, even though the like let's say the 4 images are really good, one image is like, oh wait a minute, wow, yeah, like I thought this person was really good, but this one image shows like really lack of the foundation skills, then we're being really skeptical. So do not be afraid of taking your stuff out. Okay, so the edit stuff. So that's very important.
Yeah, that's why I like, how Lightbox has a portfolio review, right? Always just get multiples of a feedback, and if they all tell you take something out, just take it out. It doesn't matter. Don't have a personal attachment. And also, let's say your portfolio goes through, you have an interview, and then either they email you, they tell you, yeah, we want to hire you. Don't ever have a reservation, such as sometimes like, do you think I'm ready? I'm like, why do you ask me that if you're ready or not? Like when I like your work, then I like your work. Just like be very enthusiastic, like I can do it. Give me the job, I'll do it, I'll deliver it, right? So basically that's pretty much the thing that I always tell our student. They always tell us like, Lim, you push us too hard. I'm like, oh my gosh, just wait until you get into Art Center. This is nothing. I think I'm such an angel to you right now. Like you don't know what's in front of you. But they literally tell me like, Lim, Charles and Lim asked me to like finish this one painting in 10 weeks. I thought it was much. Art Center, 5 days, got a job, 2 days. That's how you get better, So basically for me, the best advice that we can give you is you have to have a strong foundation. For me, when I train students literally from drawing circle to something like this, it is possible. Art can be taught. You don't have to have a born talent. You don't. You honestly don't. If you do, your life will be easier, but 90% of the people don't, right? But the most cherishable moment is when student is willing to accept constructive criticism, you will get better. So always try, like open to get feedback, but then in order for you to get proper feedback, you have to bring in a portfolio, something closer, little less, better, or maybe around here to get professional feedback. If not, it should be all about training. Like, okay, if I can draw this water bottle, if I can paint this water bottle, you are already more than halfway through. Thinking like a designer, making a concept portfolio can be taught, but we can never expedite a student to be better artists, drawing and painting. So something like that, you really do have to like hone your skills with instruction, with proper instruction, but with your own time as well.